It's 3 a.m. Your eyes are open. The house is silent, the room is dark, and your body is wide awake for no reason at all. You weren't dreaming. Nothing made a sound. You just surfaced, like something reached into the deep and pulled you up. And then it happens again the next night, and the night after that. You blame the coffee. You blame the stress. You blame the blue glow of the phone you swore you'd stop checking. But here's what nobody tells you. People wake at this exact hour all over the world. They woke at this hour 1,000 years ago. They woke at this hour long before there were clocks to give it a name. So why does the human body, night after night, choose the darkest, deadest point of the night to switch the lights back on? This isn't a glitch. It's a message. And to read it, you have to travel back to a version of yourself that had no bed, no walls, and a very good reason to open its eyes in the dark. Start with the machine you sleep inside, your own body. You don't sleep the same way all night long, and that's the first secret. Sleep isn't one flat block of nothing. It moves in waves, rising and falling like a tide. In the first hours after you drift off, you crash into the heaviest sleep there is, the dreamless dark, where someone could say your name and you would never hear it. Your body saves its deepest, most important repair work for these early hours, and it guards them fiercely. But that deep sleep doesn't last. As the night wears on, the waves grow shallower. More and more of your night tips over into light sleep and vivid dreaming, the kind you can be lifted out of by almost nothing. A creak, a draft, a single passing thought. By the time the night reaches its middle, you're drifting just beneath the surface, barely under, easy to wake. And something else is happening at this exact hour. Your core temperature, which has been falling all night long, hits its lowest point in these small hours, the coldest your body gets in the entire 24-hour day. Just as you reach that bottom, a hormone called cortisol begins to rise, the same chemical that will later force your eyes open for good. Your body is quietly starting to prepare for morning. So you wake, not because something is wrong, but because this is the seam in the night where your sleep was always thinnest. Feels almost designed, doesn't it? It is. And the design is far older than your alarm clock. Here's where the story turns. For almost all of human history, people did not sleep the way you've been taught to. The solid, unbroken 8-hour night, lie down, black out, rise once, is a surprisingly modern invention. Look back a few centuries, and you find something stranger written all through people's letters, their diaries, their prayers. They slept in 2 shifts. People would go down not long after dark for what they called their first sleep. A few hours later, somewhere in the dead middle of the night, they woke, on purpose. And this waking carried no fear at all. They simply rose into a quiet, candlelit hour and used it. They stirred the fire. They talked in low voices. They prayed, or thought, or reached for the person beside them, or rose to check on the children sleeping nearby. Then, when the hour had passed, they lay back down for their second sleep until morning. For them, waking in the night wasn't a problem to be fixed. It was a room in the house of the night, a place they expected to pass through. So what happened to it? Why don't you have a first and a second sleep? The answer is light. Artificial light pushed bedtime later and later. The factory and the clock demanded one tidy block of rest, and within a few short generations, the night was squeezed into a single shift. The waking in the middle never left your body. It just lost its name and its purpose, and turned into the thing you now lie there dreading. But that only explains how your body breaks the night apart. It doesn't explain the deeper thing. Why would evolution build a creature that surrenders its sleep in pieces, that gives up the deepest dark of the night on purpose? What exactly was the waking for?
You weren't the only one asleep. That's the key that unlocks everything. Picture the night you were actually built for. No house, no locked door, just your group gathered close around the low red coals of a fire, lying on hides and bare ground under an open sky. Out beyond the reach of the firelight is the dark, and the dark is full of things that hunt. A big cat moving low through the grass, a pack circling, patient, waiting for the fire to die down and the breathing to go slow and even. Now ask the dangerous question. When is your group easiest to kill? The answer is obvious. When everyone is asleep at once. A camp where every single person drops into deep, dead, dreamless sleep at the same moment and stays there until dawn is a camp with no eyes open. No one to notice the shape at the edge of the light. No one to feed the dying fire. No one to make a sound until it's already too late. A group like that, night after night, eventually doesn't wake up at all. So your ancestors found a quieter solution. Don't post a guard. Become one. Think about who's in your group. The very old and the very young go to sleep early and wake early. The young adults stay up late and sleep later. And scattered all through the night, people surface for a few minutes at a time, shift, glance at the dark, and drift back down. Stagger all those rhythms across a whole group, and something remarkable happens. At almost every moment of the night, somebody is awake, not standing rigid on watch, just lightly, briefly up, eyes open long enough to catch what a fully sleeping camp would miss. There is almost never a single instant when every person is unconscious at the same time. The group guards itself, and no one is ever told to do it. And the deepest, most dangerous stretch of the night, that dead middle, is the hour that needs the most eyes open. So that became an hour the body learned to surface. Your 3 a.m. waking is your turn on a watch that no one assigns anymore. Look again at what your body is doing at that hour, and it stops looking like a malfunction. The shallow sleep that lifts you so easily, the rising cortisol nudging you toward morning, even the cold bottoming out. They aren't bugs in the system. They're the standard equipment of an animal that was never meant to be fully helpless in the dark. You wake clear-headed, a little alert, senses sharpened, ready for a threat that, in your safe, modern bedroom, simply isn't there. And that's the twist that explains the worst part of it. Because here's what you actually feel at 3 a.m. It usually isn't peace, it's dread. Your heart runs a little fast. Your mind floods with everything wrong in your life. The bill, the argument, the thing you said, the fear you can't quite name. People have always known this hour as the one where worries grow teeth. Why does the dark make everything feel so much worse? Because the alarm system still works perfectly. Your body wakes you sharp and scanning, primed to find the danger at the edge of the camp. But there is no camp now, and no cat in the grass, and no pack circling in the dark. So that ancient alertness, with nothing real to lock onto, turns and aims itself at the only threats left standing, the ones inside your own head. You were built to wake and watch for a predator. Now you wake and watch your own worries circle the fire instead. So the next time it happens, try seeing it for what it really is. You are not broken. You are not failing at sleep. Your body is simply doing the oldest job it has, the one it did for your group around the fire for 100,000 years. It pulled you up to the surface, opened your eyes in the dark, and checked that everything was all right. And in a moment, once it's satisfied that you're safe, it will let you sink back down. It's 3 a.m. Your eyes are open. The house is silent. The room is dark. And somewhere far back inside you, an ancient sentry just looked out at the night, found nothing there to fear, and quietly settled back down beside the fire, the way it always has.